Carlos, what has Jeff McNeil meant to you guys as of late, and what have you seen out of him as he's it almost seems like he's snuck under the radar, the type of stretch that he's been on recently?
A really good player and a good hitter. And I'm going to go back to the second half last year when he kind of turned it around, when he started driving the baseball, using the whole field, but just dictating at bats and putting swing with conviction, And as the past week, I feel like he's done that, where he's putting himself in a really good position to hit, and not only hit but do damage, because we know the bat to ball skills are off the charts, and I feel like he gets in trouble at times when he just trying to put the ball in play on pitchers' pitches, as opposed to getting a pitch where he can drive, and we've seen that, and like I said, when he's going that way, is a really good hitter.
Overall, we've seen, feels like so many games like today where you guys are within striking distance in the end and then just find a way. How would you describe the feeling as it continues to build whenever it gets late and close if you guys are not in the lead?
Yeah, the feeling is that we're never out of the game, especially when we're striking distance. A guy gets on, perfect example today. You're down two, hell of a job by the bullpen coming in here and keeping it close. But once Marte works that walk, that's just that bat of the game. Yeah, we could talk about a lot of different ones there, but Marte getting on base to give Soto and Pete a chance, and we saw the results today. So he gets on, Soto, tough left-on-left matchup, finds a way, 0-2 I think he was, and then Pete, obviously, for the time one. But overall, like our lineup is deep, is versatile, lefty, righties, power, contact. There's a lot of different ways we could beat teams, But again, I think the pitching, the bullpen keeping us there and giving the offense a chance is always a good feeling.
Dave?
You mentioned it with Marte getting on, how confident you were feeling with the next two guys up. Just the way that Soto and Alonso are at the plate right now. Pete's been like that all year. Soto's really kind of gained some momentum now. How dominant of those two guys kind of rounded their shape?
Yeah, and as the inning started, the whole time I'm thinking, let's get the big boys up there. Let's give Soto a chance. Let's give Pete a chance. One of those guys, you feel good. Obviously, with anybody, but with the way they've been swinging it, like you say, Soto, and then Pete with the way he's been going, you feel good. And again, not an easy matchup. The left, and then the closer. Finnegan. So yeah, I mean, a lot of guys clicking. Putting together some really good at bat, so that's good to see.
Tony, behind you.
You mentioned this with McNeil kind of being an extension of what we saw at the second half of last year. What specifically clicked for him at that time?
Driving the baseball, not just putting the ball in play or trying to just flick balls the other way, or because his bat to ball skills are really, really good. I feel like at times, first pitch of a bat, he gets a fastball down on the way, which is a pitcher's pitch, and he puts it in play, and, he doesn't do damage with it. Where now he's taking that pitch, 0-1, he's still a really good hitter, and we saw it in Colorado. I think 0-1, and then the next pitch, he gets a fastball and drives it all, for a homer. So same way, he's going to be ready for the first pitch. We saw it that last at bat. If he gets a good pitch, he can do that too. So I think he's just the conviction in driving the baseball with authority.
Behind you.
Carlos, los ajustes de Juan Soto en su último partido esta noche demostró que en los últimos dos picheos lo vio 100 millas, 99, sin embargo, le tiran 92 millas y pudo hacer esos ajustes. ¿Qué puede decir para mantenerse ahí? Y mire lo que hicieron.
La calidad de Juan Soto, que ese es él, un super pelotero, un super bateador, y yo no creo que haya muchos ajustes. Él todo el año ha estado bateando la bola, ha hecho contactos increíbles, y ahora pues la suerte está empezando a verla a su favor, ¿no? Pero dos turnos, el jonrón contra el zurdo, que no sabe, Gore es un pelotero, un pitcher, uno de los mejores en Grandes Ligas. Ese turno para en el octavo inning contra Ferrer, también no es fácil, zurdo contra zurdo. Estamos viendo lo que todos esperamos, Juan Soto.
Mark.
A little bit of both, a combination of both. I would say the experience now, the more we throw him in those situations, he continues to gain the feel for it. But stuff, this is a guy that I've been saying it. He's got weapons to get righties and lefties. He can get a ground ball when he needs to. He can go for a strikeout, as we saw it today against Lowe, running out there, infield in, and he went for that split, and he got the chases. I think it's just the awareness, but he continues to come huge for us on those spots. But he's weapons, stuff, experience. There's a lot to like right now. He came in and did the job, came in and attack, and that's something that we keep telling all of our guys. It doesn't matter. You're going to come in, down 7, up 1, down 1 bases loaded. Here he was, down 2, first and second, 1 out. And he comes in and attacks his own 97, 98. Then the cutter against lefties, a really good first impression there.
Joe.
What was Mackenzie Gore able to do so well? Juan's home run hits, were they kind of drawn back and forth?
Yeah, I mean, look, he's one of the best pitchers in the league, and the numbers will back that up. I thought today the curveball was we all know that the fastball, mid-90s, and he plays up, but I thought the breaking ball today against righties especially, he got chases, he got strikes with it, he mixed. He's a tough matchup, and that's why we're seeing the numbers and the type of season that he's having, and then with Soto, I thought he handled it, got him the first at bat, then Soto took him deep, and maybe they stare at each other. And then the next time, got him out on one pitch, and, I thought they both handled it the way they should handle it. So.
Are we good here? Or you want me to... Good? Griffin, first of all, just team-wise, you've been here now a few months. What do you see in the group that seemingly allows for this type of win to keep happening?
Yeah, I think we're just playing for each other. After the first or second inning, Pete kind of came by me and said that they were going to pick me up. So I think that kind of says it all right there. What
does that mean as a pitcher in that moment when a teammate does that?
Yeah, it doesn't feel good to go out there and put us in a hole right away. So just to know that they kind of had my back and they were going to grind it out against a really good pitcher on the other side. It was really nice to see.
What was a little off for you tonight early on, and how did you grind through and get through the way you did?
Yeah, I think they just kind of had a good approach against me, and were a little bit better than me tonight. They came in with a good approach and executed it well. Obviously, the pitch to Lowe in the first inning probably not executed very well, but it felt like Abrams put some good swings on some decent pitches. I thought like the 3-1 slider was below the zone. Fastball was down and away. The changeup was kind of down and away. So I think they just came in with a good plan and just executed it.
What did you think of Juan Soto's play there, the throw?
Yeah, obviously to keep it a 1-run there, just kind of keep us in the game a little bit. He's been doing it all year.
You faced McNeil as an opponent. What makes him a difficult at-bat?
He just doesn't really swing and miss. I think that's a big part of it. He's going to put the ball in play. So if you leave something over the middle or give him what he's looking for, he's going to put a good swing on it.